Cody Collier, welcome back to ATV Talk, man.
Happy to be here, brother.
All right. Well, we're going to do the race report on the Old Gray. We're a couple days behind schedule, but with the Easter holiday and everything, it works out for both of us. I hope you guys, the family and you had a good Easter.
No, absolutely. No, it was a good day. Like I said, I was just working on some house projects around the house all weekend. Got the sunroom framed in, then went and see my family for Easter yesterday. So, nope, I had a good weekend.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, we didn't do much. We tried to stay around the house, but like I told you in the pre, I was off taking care of my wife's car because she seems to have tire issues all the time. But it is what it is. You got to take care of mama.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right on. Hey, the Old Gray, all the reports that I saw, the weather was just incredible and the race conditions you couldn't ask for better.
No, absolutely not. The forecast said a bunch of rain Thursday, Friday. We didn't get it, and yeah, dirt was absolutely perfect. Weather was perfect. Um, yeah, perfect day of racing.
Unbelievable. What was the overall turnout like for you guys?
It was great. Couple hundred quads in the almost a couple hundred quads in youth, a couple hundred quads in the AM, couple hundred quads in the PM.
That's a lot of quads going around that course at one time, right?
No, absolutely.
Wow. Wow. And they ran the course backwards. You said in the pre with a couple extra new sections.
Yeah, there's a couple of new sections in there. It was mostly just to tie together some old ones, kind of change the flow up a little bit. But the track was really good. Like I said, it was kind of rocky. Other people will say it was really rocky, but I think it was just kind of rocky. It had really good flow. You could carry a surprising amount of pace for what the track was. How technical it looked, you could carry a lot of speed if you got your tire placement right and everything.
Well, yeah, that's I've heard nothing but good. I heard a couple people did say that it was, they would have liked it to be less rocky, but overall it didn't seem to cause too many people too many problems. Your amateur race in the morning, your early AM seemed to be pretty loaded.
Yeah. No, the youth race in the morning. Um, yeah, no, it was really good race. Cole Brink out front early, and he ended up running some issues or something, and then Stetson Owens kind of started towards the back of the pack and worked his way forward, and he looked really good where I was watching from, and yeah, he ended up taking home the win.
Yeah, that's his third of the year, you know. I
Yeah, I
mean,
believe he had mechanical round one, just kind of put him back in points, but boys been fast, boys been up there.
right. The funny thing is when you look at that class, the guy that's leading the points has been pretty consistent. He's got 2/3, 2 seconds, and then another finish a little farther back. That's Bodie. He's leading the points in that class right now. He hasn't quite got to the top step yet, but it looks to me with those 2 seconds in a row, he may get himself there.
Yeah, no, he's definitely podium guy. About every race you can count on him to be up there battling for it. You just got to start being consistent podium guy and going after some wins because you do get a lot of drops in youth race. I believe it's 4 drops for the class, so they only count 9 of 13 for the year.
I didn't catch all that. It's kind of broke up your Wi-Fi messed up, but
No,
yeah,
no, sorry about that. No, so for the youth guys, got to be worried about drops. They deal with a lot more drops, so they only count 9 out of 13 races of the year for them.
oh, that's great for those guys. So you take those bad races out of there, and Owens is in the lead because he's got 3 wins and I believe a second. No, 3 wins and a fifth. So yeah, that would put him most likely in the driver's seat for that class.
Yeah, definitely in the talks for it. But yeah, no, it's they get a lot of drops later in the year, so podiums are good. Being top five is good, but you got to consistently be on that podium to be a front runner.
That's
Or maybe it'll just be crazy season where everybody will be all over the place, kind of like XC2. But
right, right. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get in that class. Well, in the Pro 4x4 class, which you are very familiar with, um, you've won 4 races out of the 5. with a second, I believe that is.
Yep.
So not not that Brandon's not doing his job, but you seem to be coming out on top. How did the start go for you guys?
It was good. Kaden got the whole shot. He kindly tagged the hay bale on the exit of the corner and tipped himself up. And me and Frazier battled for the lead in the woods. And I kindly didn't make the rotation for the last corner going into the woods and had to hit reverse. So I was dead last going into the woods.
Really?
Yeah. So I got up into second, probably 4 or 5 miles in, and caught him by the end of the lap. Framed out on a rock, wheelie going 30, 40 miles an hour down the trail and T-boned into a tree. Thankfully, that tree had a little bit of give, so I was able to roll off of it a little bit. But yeah, I was just 1 step forward, 2 steps back all day. I would catch them and then make a mistake and catch them and make a mistake. But it felt good finally being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Finally got some flow going. So finally felt loose on the bike and was able to do more on it instead of being so smooth, so calculated. I felt loose on it.
Really? So you struggled. How did you end up taking the lead?
Last lap, there was a split line. Frazier kind of bobbled coming into it, and I swung the outside and I committed and beat him to the point. We came together and we both kind of bounced, and he hit a tree and I got spun off the track, and I checked up, made sure he was good, and I got the better end of the deal, and we continued racing from there, and I held the lead from there.
So it was just both trying to take the same line at the same time.
Yeah, he took the main line, I took a split line, just where he bobbled coming into it. I just beat him to the point, and we came together.
Wow. So you guys were having a fierce battle the whole day.
For sure, yeah. No, neither one of us wanted to lift. There's a couple of times we both checked up coming into the line because we didn't know who was going to lift, and I think both of us just didn't think the other one was going. Thought the other one was going to lift there. So just racing incident. It happens.
But you made sure he was okay before you
Yeah,
took
yeah, for sure.
Good. Kaden, did he stay in third after he made a mistake on the start? Because he ended up third. Gavin dropped back this round.
Yeah, no, Kaden dropped back off the start. I think he wasn't last with me off the start, but he lost a few positions. Gavin was up front early, and he ended up breaking a front drive shaft on the first lap.
Oh.
So he didn't have 4-wheel drive all day, so he kindly struggled in the rocks.
Well, he ended up with a 6, so he didn't do. I mean, he did okay. He salvaged something out of it.
For sure.
Mickelson.
Yeah, no, he was solid. Then Dayton was 5th on the day. He was 3rd on the first lap, and trying to show he belongs and everything. Got to put it together for 2 hours, but he's getting there.
Well, it looks like those guys behind you got that 5th to 5th, 6th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place position guys. They're getting faster, and they're like having their own little battles.
Well, for sure. Yeah, no, there's battles all throughout the class. There's battle for the one with me and Frazier out front, and there's battles with the rest of the spots.
How close? I didn't check the lap times. How close were they to you guys?
I think it was 6 minutes.
So you guys were freaking freighting.
Oh yeah. No, we were rolling. We were 2 minutes faster on the last lap. We were a minute faster on lap 5 than we were on lap 4.
Man, so you guys were putting it down.
Yeah. No, I got like I said, we got together early on the last lap, and I got the lead, and I was absolutely hammering down, and Frazier was matching me, so it was a really good race.
That's good. I'm glad you guys had a great race. And you liked the course. Did Brandon seem to like the course as well?
Yeah, no, I know it's not his forte. He's a Florida boy, so he likes to stand ups in the open and everything, but he rides really well everywhere. So he was riding really well, made it hard. He kept me honest even with my mistakes. I was really having to, ride my best to keep him honest and be able to run him back down after I was making the mistakes. So, and he kept me honest that whole last lap.
He's right there. How many How many on the old gray, because it's a relatively new course, how many split lines are there? I mean, I know you probably couldn't count them all, but are there a fair amount?
I mean, we swapped positions probably 5 or 6 times throughout the race. Just like on the first couple of laps, I would have a line, I'd get him, and there'd be another split right after that, and he would just bulldog a line and get right back by me. So he was really sending it, trying to maintain that lead, and really good moves. Racing me clean, racing me hard. So, um, yeah, uh, he was riding really well.
That's good. Glad you guys had a great race. WXC had its first third time winner in Chloe Harper. We talked about the podium. All three of our gals ended up on the podium. We couldn't pick an order, but Chloe did win. I think you did pick Chloe to win, and she did.
Yeah, no, 2 in a row. I thought she'd keep the ball rolling. Now it's three. So
Yeah, she did really well. They post her as leading the points because she's got the most wins, even though her and Jessica are tied. Hannah's 11 points behind them, but that class, those top five are so close at any given moment. Those other two young ladies in Avery and Katelyn could jump in there and take one of those podium spots any given time.
no, for sure. Yeah, no. Every dog has their day. Like Avery's gotten a couple podiums already this year, but could have had that win at Camp Coker if a couple more things went her way, probably. So, um, yeah, she's looking young and hungry, just like Chloe was kind of in that mix, right, where she kind of had speed the first half of the year, and then at the end of the year started putting things together and put one out the end of the year last year. So
Yeah, I think if they don't get her under control, she's going to put a hurting on them because it looks like she started where she left off last year, where she won the last four. Now she's just put three in a row together, and we're only five races into the season.
yeah, no, it's no, Justin and Hannah need to step up and stop the momentum and take some for themselves.
Right, right. Um, you know, Hannah looks like she's doing really well, doing better on that 450, but it just seems like Jessica and Chloe are just a little bit faster.
Yeah, I think Hannah's not getting great starts right now. Like I think the one race I picked her to win was after Alabama, Coker, and I was like, she's been getting great starts, so I expect to see her up front and battling for it, and she's gotten bad starts since. So,
Wow.
um, no, so look for her to get a good start. She belongs up front. She'll figure it out.
Another class that is super competitive, and Chloe seems to be the most hungry, and she's putting it down and doing a great job.
Yeah, no, I think Jess is doing the smart thing, trying to play the long game. I think she's got more speed, but I think she's trying not to avoiding the mistake and avoiding, a bike failure or wreck or something, and just taking what the day gives her right now.
Well, that's pretty smart. She is a three-time champ. You don't get three championships by not freaking being smart. So I believe that she might be, adding up the points and allowing herself to take that second on the day. I've dealt with a lot of champions that sometimes they knew, hey, let's just take the second. It's going to be the best thing for us. You know, there's a long season. We'll be able to make it back up.
Yeah, no, it's tough when you're the other person's the one winning.
It is. It is. You know, Uh, we talk about this class multiple different times about being so competitive. These guys finish, other than the top two, you never know where they're going to be, whether it's going to be third or whether it's going to be 16th. And again, they shuffled the field on us again. Um, Edmondson got third,
Yep.
second podium, Elijah, right?
Yeah, no, it's been a while since round one.
Yeah. And he got himself back up in the on the box. Um, and that's great for him. Keeps him not out of touch for the points. He's only 1 point behind Jeremiah Wolf, And Jeremiah didn't have a great showing. He ended
He
up
was
not.
having a great showing.
Okay, what happened?
Some type of bike failure. It sounded like motor based. But yeah, no, had a bike failure, and he was battling for Braxton for the lead. I think he was keeping him honest. He was within 20, 30 seconds for sure.
Oh, that's got to crush him. That's got to crush him.
Yeah, no, so I think it happened beginning of lap 3. So earlier on in the race, but he was there in contention.
Man, just you look at the results. Um, Kenny Schick put himself in fourth. We talk about him every once in a while, but last race he got fifth. This race he's got fourth. So it seems like he found kind of a groove as well, where he didn't have it before. James was sixth, so he's still running in the top, six in the top 10. So he's still doing well. Not quite as good as that third he did last round, but James is no slouch.
No, he was there. Just like we said, the XC2 class got a lot of guys that can show up on different days. So how did you guys show up?
Yeah, that's crazy. Your 1-2 guys, Braxton Gross, your West Coast guy, got second. You said that he was battling with Jeremiah for the lead, and Jeremiah unfortunately had a problem. Braxton ended up second. Hey, and guess who? Alex freaking punches it out for the win, becomes a 3-time winner in that class. Uh, that's pretty awesome. I kind of figured, as good as the conditions were, that Gross was going to win that race. But when I saw Alex must have put in a great ride.
Yeah, I know he did. He came from back in the pack. I don't know if he's getting bad starts or making mistakes early or what, but yeah, he came from way behind. He was probably 30 seconds down at least with 2 laps to go. Um, I think he was a second down going into the white flag, and just walked away with it on the last lap.
Man, that's Alex with it, hats off, another great ride. You know, we didn't mention um, Andre Williams with the fifth place. He's third in points. Unfortunately, with Jeremiah having a problem, that gave up that third spot in points. I know we're early in the season; it's only round 5, but every point matters at this point.
Yeah, and I think that the XC2 and the WXC class get 2 drops.
I wonder why they give him 2.
Um, it used to be 1, and there's a problem a couple years ago with the championship, and the year after they ended up making it 2 drops for XC2, just for the quads.
Okay. Special rules for this special ATVs, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
uh, I don't think Alex is going to be beatable this year. That guy is so consistent and so fast. I'm not taking anything away from Braxton, but we have any bad weather, it's not going to help Braxton at all. And Alex seems to be able to ride in the good conditions as well as the bad conditions. So, I mean, the kid's super strong, super fast, probably going to be bumping himself up into the XC1 class next year. Um, Really, really looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, it's hard not to after potential back-to-back XC2 championships. So he's riding really well. I can see Braxton or Jeremiah making that step forward by the end of the year. Jeremiah is super young, but things are clicking for him right now. And then Braxton, just with all the talent he has, he just seems like he's a couple little things away from going real fast out here.
Let's talk about that. I mean, I know Alex will most likely go up, because if he wins the title, he should go up, because that'll be two in a row. You said Jeremiah was young. As fast as he is, for as young as he is, do you think he should stay down and run, and try to win the 2 in a row, or do you think he should go up? And I'm going to ask you the same question about Braxton. Braxton's also young. Do you think he should stay down and win a title, be seasoned before he moves up?
For sure for Jeremiah. He's still growing young man, so he's got to grow into his body a little bit. He'll give him a couple more years. He'll be ready. But with Braxton, it's just it's consistently going that fast on every track, or you're going to start getting beat up. So, but he struggles on a couple of tracks here and there, and I think jumping to that XC1 class is going to be tough on him. I think
Right.
you're seeing that, like what we talked about with like Grayson Eller. I didn't think he was ready. He's been finishing every race, but he's he's been that 13th, 14th place guy every single time. So finding that speed is tough in that XC1 class. It's easy to do when you're in XC2 and you got all that confidence. We've talked about that before, but once you're up there and Wyatt Wilkins' hair's flown away in the distance, and it's tough on you.
Yeah, I'd like to see Braxton stay down 1 year more at least, maybe 2, excuse me, and get seasoned, because I don't think, coming from the West Coast, I don't think you can learn that trade that you guys have out there in just a couple seasons. Some of these kids have been doing it their whole life, and they're just developing faster and faster when they go in to the XC1 class. And Braxton just basically still being a newbie. He needs more time.
Yeah, no, there's just different technical things and things just all the we could deal with some different variables that are tough to learn sometimes when you got your understanding of how the dirt works and everything. So you got to kind of relearn how your quad reacts with the dirt around you.
Right. One of the things that I talked to Braxton about is, obviously in his future, most likely is a Yamaha.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. Most likely it's coming. So it's something that maybe he would look into, before he goes to the XC1 class.
I mean, a lot of people make the switch. It's not the biggest deal in the world. If you know how to ride 4 wheels in a motor, you know how to ride 4 wheels in a motor. It's just adapting to a couple things.
Right.
So I think Yamaha is a better platform through and through. Shoot me if you want, but I think the Yamaha is just better for racing. The Honda's got its advantages, but just the handability of the Yamaha is just tough to beat.
The kind of crazy thing is, we go back in time. Honda hasn't won a title since the 2-stroke days. The last guy to win one was Barry Hawk.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, and that was what year was Barry's last one, in the 90s?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 97?
I think so. Yeah. So somewhere right in there.
Yeah, that's insane. Honda won all of those titles for all those years, and now they go to 4-stroke and they can't win.
They've been close a few times. Miguel had a couple good years. Had the motor blow up. Unadilla kindly took him out of the championship fight, but Chris was so close so many times on the 450.
Yeah, I mean but close just doesn't count. Being number 2 doesn't put the number 1 on your bike.
No, it doesn't. They've been there, so they've always been competitive, but they just missed the mark.
Right. I wonder if it would have changed things in the industry, in the XC world, or even in the ATV world, if Honda would have won a couple titles. Maybe would they have kept winning or kept making the machines? I doubt it. But I doubt it.
Yeah, who knows? It might have helped, their production right then. It might have made a whole different world after it, but
right. It's nice to have the conversation, think about it, talk about it, but yeah, probably wouldn't have made any difference whatsoever. But with so many people riding Yamahas and Yamaha being the only 450 producer now, it's only logical to go ride a Yamaha.
Yeah, no, they're yeah. Why wouldn't you? Like you said, they're the ones making parts. They're the ones supporting the sport. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, and it's a great platform. Can't argue. Cannot argue. I mean, you could try, but you cannot argue with the fact that it's a great platform. So let's roll into the XC1 class. I watched a video, and it looked like Bryson Neal got the whole shot. and then you could see Wilkins and uh, Hart and a couple other guys go for it. Then you saw Fowler go in around the turn. It was behind them, and you could only see their numbers on their backs as they would go around the turn. It was a pretty cool little video. Um, did Neil wire to wire it?
No, Neil was mid pack on the start. McClure got the whole shot. There's some different people up front early. Jay Shad, Brandon Owens, Josh Merritt was up front early. They had a nice little mix up front. Bryson Neal found his way to the way up front early. I think he was leading by the end of the first lap. And yeah, no, Jared McClure was in second, and him and Jay Shad were in a battle, and Bryson was able to walk away from that battle, and everybody kind of bunched up behind that battle. And Fowler ended up working his way all the way up to second, and then Junior and Wyatt found themselves in that battle and battled all the way to the finish for that podium spot.
Yeah, and Junior did it again.
Yeah, back to back.
Got himself on the podium back to back. I kind of thought that, maybe that third place last round was going to spark something in him, and it looks like it has.
Yeah, no, he looks hungry. He was second last round too.
Yeah. So with a second and a third, it's totally changed his point position. He's third in points now. I know we're only round 5. I know, but these are the things that's why we're here to talk about it. And man, for John Galata Jr. to make this big of a transition right now, which I've been listening to you for years tell me that he's the guy, he's going to be fast, he's going to do this. Do you think that this is the guy that you've been telling me about?
It's close. It's close. He's ready to be that guy. So now he's starting to do the right things. He's ready. It's almost him.
Almost him, huh?
Yeah, yeah. No, so things are clicking. He's riding like he knows how, but there's a lot more potential.
Right. Well, Wyatt Wilkins got 4th on the day.
Oh
And
yes, 0.003 seconds, I bet, behind Junior. They were bumper to bumper going through the finish.
so they had a great race battling just for the third spot. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Junior and Wyatt could have been closer to the leaders, but I think Wyatt was keeping Junior's hand full, and he's looking at his rear views a lot, keeping him busy.
Yeah, well, yeah, if he lets down just one little bit in one little section, Wyatt would have probably passed him and drove away. Josh Merritt got 5th. Who got 6th? Jay
Was it Jay Shad? Jay
Shadron. Yep, Shadron got 6th. So the order bounced around, changed it up a little bit. Stephen Harrell and Hunter Hart didn't have the rides that they normally have. They'd been pretty consistent up until this race. So they bounced back a little bit, but that class is so tough. Any one of those guys, from 10th to second can be on the podium. They might even be able to throw it in there for a win if you could pull something out on Neil. Neil just seems so strong. He's just not getting any slower.
Yeah, no, he's really putting it together. He had a really big lead going into that last lap, and I guess that last lap was hectic for him. And Walker made it really close. Walker pushed really hard and made it close. So Walker kept him honest. Neil rode a smart race, knowing the gap he had, and managed the race out front. So no, I'm sure it'll be really interesting here in a couple weeks.
There was a story on Instagram. They were talking about Neil's bike and that it looked like it was puffing smoke.
Okay.
I looked at the photos multiple times. It's not what I saw. I
No,
mean,
I didn't see that post.
you could with all the mud and dirt that those guys throw around, you could easily clog a radiator and puke out some coolant. It just didn't look that way to me. It just looked like regular dust, you
I
know.
could have, framed out on a rock, caught his rotor guard, been some rock dust. That looks a lot like motor smoke. So
Yeah, I don't know. I only catch bits and pieces of these things. I didn't see what the poster was talking about. Um, but I did see that Walker Fowler likes reptiles,
Okay.
you
I did
know.
not know this about Walker.
Yeah, he's playing with a snake in one of the pictures. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I heard there was a snake up on the podium.
yeah. So and he was just like all enthralled with it, picked it up. I had not seen a snake like that, but it's okay. He enjoyed it, and that's okay. That's all right.
Where's a bunch of country boys that just happen to go fast?
Right. Well, doesn't everybody that race cross country, aren't they all country boys?
Most of us, yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. Where are we going next?
My home state, not my home race. There's one a little bit closer in Ohio, but Powerline Park out in St. Clairsville,
That's close to Pennsylvania, isn't it?
at like on the line. It's like 30 minutes maybe.
What do you guys last year? Didn't we go there and didn't you guys go there and it was raining and the weather
Oh,
was really bad?
it was an absolute mud fest last year. Absolute mud fest. I had to get my eyes flushed after the race, but by the medics.
So then we're probably looking at a good race with good clear weather again.
As good as this year's been, it's probably going to be another mud fest. So
Wow.
no, it'll be what it'll be. Weather's been kind of all over the place here in Ohio recently. It was beautiful today. It was really cold yesterday. It was beautiful Saturday. So, time will tell. So I'm hoping it's nice. Hoping for much better than last year. It was cold and miserable and muddy, and yeah, I hope we don't have to deal with that again.
Right. Well, anything going to change in the orders or in the classes, do you think, going into the next round?
The XC2 class for sure. That's always going to bounce around. No, hopefully Junior can keep the success going, at least keep some top fives going, if not stay on the podium streak. Wyatt Wilkins, talked to my dad after the race. He's like, I am sick and tired of these bad starts. I'm going to practice starts for 3 weeks. So hopefully Wyatt Wilkins gets a good start and puts himself out front. I'd look for Hannah and Jess to try to regroup. That they know what's going on. They know Chloe won 3. Chloe knows she's won 3, so they're going to try to regroup and go after her. Yeah, kids are going to be kids in the youth. They're just going to send it and see what happens at the end of the day.
So, do you think that there is an answer out there for Bryson Neal?
He's human like the rest of us. Just figure out what he's doing different. Just learn to see what he's seeing. Easier said than done, but they're all around it. They know what he's doing.
I don't know, brother. I don't know. That guy is dominant. He's strong. He's fast. He's got a great team backing him. Their package is really good. I know Walker Fowler is a great XC1 guy. He's a 7-time champ, so he has to be. I just don't know if he's got any more tricks in his bag to deal with Neal. I think he taught him too much, having him follow him for all those years.
Yeah, I think Walker knows that there's no more tricks. He's got to put his nose down and work and make it happen.
Right.
So
I agree. It's crazy stuff, brother. I will catch up with you in the next pre-race. Until then, make sure that you work hard, stay in shape, and everybody keep riding, please.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great day to have a great day. No, I'm good. After we got off, I was before we got on, I was doing all this the work on my house, doing the sunroom and everything. Now when we get off, I'm gonna go do my workout and then back up to work tomorrow, and it never ends.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Cody, thank you so much for being here on the round 5 GNCC race report, the old gray, and we will catch you at round 6.